Do you want to know what it is? I'm going to tell you. It's real simple, all right? But sometimes what's simple is complicated. But let me tell you what it is. It's accountability, okay? That extra thing that you need in order to be successful, it's accountability. Now, quite often when I'm working with my clients, especially when I'm at the beginning stages of working with them, even better when I'm in the consultation process of working before I work with them, is I always like to know what it is that you guys think it takes in order to be successful. All right, so if I was to ask you that question, what do you think it takes to be successful in this area of your life? All right, what do you think it takes to be successful with your health goals? What would you say? Right, quite often I get the answers of information. I just need the knowledge. If I only had the knowledge, then I would be able to make it. All right, but because of what I read here, there, and everywhere, and because of all the misinformation out there, you know, how am I supposed to know what to do? And so what you think you need is information. All right, now information is definitely valuable. And that's one of the main reasons why Monday to Thursday at 8 a.m. I like to provide you with information. Strategies. I just need strategies, all right? And so that's why Monday to Thursday I like to provide you with strategies. And so by the end of this morning, I'm also going to give you strategies around accountability, which is what you really need, okay? It's this ingredient that's missing, right, that you really need in order to be successful. And nobody talks about it. So I want you to imagine, you know, that you've achieved your goal, okay? So I want you to imagine that, you know, fast forward however long, 6 months, a year, maybe it's just a few months for you. I want you to imagine what it actually, what it took, okay? What did you do and what are you doing in order to maintain the success that you've created? Okay, what does it look like? Because a lot of people, they don't recognize the difference between fantasies that they create, all right, and in actual reality. Okay, so what does it take realistically? What has it taken in reality? All right, and when you imagine yourself and you have arrived there, are you imagining a fantasy? All right, or are you actually realistically imagining what it is that you have done or what it is that you are doing in order to be successful in this area of your life? I have never had the answer of, look, I imagine that it took a lot of food preparation. All right, when I ask someone, what are you imagining? No one tells me that they have imagined that every Sunday night is food prep. Okay, I want to tell you a story about my flatmate. He's awesome. All right, he's a great guy, just a young guy, 21, and he's like my son, like my eldest son. That's how we treat him. And he's got excellent habits, super high achiever, and he goes to the gym every morning at 5 o'clock on his way to work. He's an accountant, and then he comes home, and on his way home, he stops off at the gym. He's training for a fight, right? He's training for a boxing fight. He's so diligent with this routine, right? And then every weekend, Saturday is a chill-out day for him, but even a chill-out day for him starts with training, right? And then on a Sunday, he calls it life admin. And part of his life admin is to meal prep. And last night he spent 3 hours in the kitchen prepping all his meals for the week. No one ever imagines that meal prep is a part of their success. Okay, no one imagines that they have become disciplined about the decisions and the choices that they make daily, and that it requires making those decisions and disciplines even when they don't feel like it. All right, I'm sure that after the week that he had, the last thing he wanted to do was spend 3 hours in the kitchen prepping again for the week ahead. Okay, and so no one imagines these type of things. So when it comes to accountability, it's really about two things, okay? It's about creating the reality around what it actually takes to be successful. It's about knowing what that is realistically, not having a fantasy about it, okay? Quite often I hear, I'll just be able to eat whatever I want, okay? And you may not say that, but you probably think it, that when you do achieve your ideal body, that you should just be able to eat whatever it is that you want, okay? Or that you won't ever have to think about food anymore. Perhaps you have a fantasy where you think that when you achieve your body, that you just will be able to relax and not have to think about your food anymore, all right? Or you won't have to meal prep anymore, all right? Maybe that's a fantasy that you have. The second thing is around commitment, okay? Knowing what it actually takes to be committed and having accountability in place to help you be committed. So one of the things I've seen, right, is that when you are committed, okay, when you make decisions not based on the way that you feel, but based on what you know you need to do in order to achieve, that is a sign of commitment. And how you know that, see, what I said is that I'll be looking at the things that you do rather than what you say. Okay, so I'll be able to see the things that you do rather than the things that you say. All right, that is one sign. The other is that, look, it's really just a sign of emotional maturity when you are able to do the things that you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. See, as grown-ups, we don't really have such rules anymore. We don't have our parents breathing down our neck telling us that we can and can't do things. You know, last night for dessert, I gave my son a little bit of ice cream after he had his dinner. And so we have a cool rule in our house where he eats what we eat, so that keeps us accountable. That is an accountability factor. You know, at first I had a rule where he wasn't allowed to have sugar till he was 1, but that's unrealistic, right? Because he wants to eat whatever we're eating, so now that's the rule. That's accountability. Okay, so successful people in this area of their life, they understand accountability and they put these accountability factors in place. So, you know, many people can run on willpower for a while. The average person doesn't run on willpower for very long. A lot of people can identify the fact that they start with enthusiasm, that they start with a hiss and a roar, but then that wears off, all right? Willpower, enthusiasm are both expendable resources. They don't last very long. So what I want to give you today is 2 strategies, all right? 2 strategies that will set you up in order for you to achieve, and in order for you to set the right accountability factors that you need if you really want to be successful. Okay, so what I need you to identify with right now is where exactly you're at in your journey. Right? Are you someone that needs the result? Are you someone that needs to be successful with their health goals this year? Or are you someone that wants to be successful? Now the difference is that if you need it, you'll achieve it. If you want it, you may and likely and probably won't achieve it. The difference is that the people who need it will, because they need it. So you've got to make sure that that want becomes a need. All right. So this really is, you know, I want you to park it in your mental and your brain for a time where it is a need. If you are someone who is in just that want stage right now, but if you are someone who is in that need cycle, okay, if you need it, then I'm talking to you. All right. Here are the 2 things that you need. First of all, and I'll tell you the first one that you can do on your own. Okay, the first one you can do on your own. But the second you're going to need myself to help you with, or you're going to need someone else to help you with. Okay, but the second one you cannot do on your own. Here's the first. Put yourself in a position where you cannot fail. Okay, it sounds simple, but it's going to take commitment. You must, when you set your goal, right, when you know what it is and you know when you want to achieve it by, you must put yourself in a position where you cannot fail. Here's an example. One example is that when I got married, right, it was quite a defining moment for me. I needed to lose a lot of weight to fit into a wedding dress. Okay, it was a $500 wedding dress. No, sorry, I take that back. It was a $2,500 wedding dress. And I could get this exact same dress 2 sizes smaller for $500, right? That I needed to do that. I had 6 months. Right? I had 6 months to drop 2 dress sizes. And so I bought the dress. Okay, now some of you may be thinking she's crazy, right, to buy that dress with only 6 months, because maybe she wouldn't have achieved it. Maybe she wouldn't have been able to do that. Okay, but I bought the dress. There's no going back. There's no maybe about it. I will achieve that. I will. And when you make that decision hard and fast like that, your mind looks for opportunities. Now, I didn't have the knowledge then to know what it is that I needed to do. But because I had set the intention, because I had put myself in a position where I just could not fail, it made me search. It made me have my eyes open, my ears open. I was talking about it more, looking for the information. And I found it. And I got there. All right. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm able to help you beautiful people today. All right. So put yourself in a position where you cannot fail. That may to you look like, if you're a parent, right? If you're a parent, that may look like you holding yourself accountable with your kids. All right. Perhaps together you sit as a family around dinner tonight or over the week once you've thought about it. And you decide with your kids, you say to your kids, look, darlings, I'm getting healthy, right? Because I want to be a good example and show you guys what it takes to be healthy. Or mummy needs to spend some time focusing on her health so that she can have more energy. All right, however it is that you word it to your kids, it's going to be around that kind of a conversation. It's not going to be about weight loss. Right? And when you have this conversation with your kids, you say, look, there's ways that you can help me, all right? And if you help me, then we're going to do this together as a family, okay? Mummy is able to achieve this. If I'm able to do this, this is what we're going to do together as a family, as a reward, okay? And it's going to be something that they want to do with you, that excites them, all right? And then maybe you set a little calendar or a little chart up on your fridge, and together you mark off the days, all right, so that they see and remember the vision for what it is that you're working towards. All right. Now you may think, oh, but I don't want to disappoint my kids. What if I don't achieve? But that's the whole point. You don't disappoint your kids. Okay. So set yourself a goal where you know you cannot achieve. That's accountability. That is the ultimate accountability. Perhaps it's not your kids. Perhaps you need to. If you're not a parent, perhaps you need to give someone something really valuable. Perhaps you need to give your friend a lot of money and tell them to park it in a bank account and tell them that they get to spend that money if you don't achieve XYZ goal by XYZ time. Put yourself in a position where you cannot fail. If you are serious about achieving, put yourself in a position you cannot fail. Now, I'm not going to just leave you hanging like that. I am also going to provide you with another solution on top of that, which is going to help you. And the second one is the thing that you can't do on your own, and that's get a coach. Okay? Get a coach. In any area of your life where you want to be successful, you'll have a coach. All right? Someone who, maybe that someone doesn't know that they're the person you look up to, but I'm encouraging you to connect with someone, all right? And I'm one of those people. And if you don't already have someone, I can be one of those people with you. This is what I do, right? This is what I do. So I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I've been there before. And I do a lot of things, but one of the key things that really good mentors, really good coaches do is that they help you, right, identify what the highest priorities are in your life, okay? What the things are that take up your time, that take up your energy, that you think about easily, that you talk about easily, that fill up your space, and so forth, okay? Those things that are your highest values, your highest priorities. It's not as simple as what you think. It's not always as black and white to you as what you think, but other people are able to observe those things. Now, that's one of the things that I do with my clients is I draw out what those highest things are. And then what we do is, once we've identified what those values are, what those priorities are, then we start to make links and connections, all right, and as to why achieving is going to improve those areas of your life, all right, and we constantly are making connections. Then what we do is that we together will set other things in place, we'll put other things in place, other strategies around you in your life according to those highest values, according to those highest priorities, accountability factors, okay, according to those. It's about linking, okay? See, I have accountability all over my life that has kept me in this place over the last 6 years, all right, that has kept me, I'm losing my words, helped me maintain my weight, okay? Help me continue to take it to the next level. I have accountability factors all over the place. I'm accountable to my son. I'm accountable to my husband. I'm accountable to you. All right, every day I wake up at 7 o'clock, at quarter to 7, and knowing that at 8 o'clock I'm doing this with you. This is accountability for me. I'm a coach. I'm accountable to all my clients. Right? I have a personal trainer. I'm accountable to him. I have accountability things in place all the time, right? Which help me stay on track. Okay, so if not having accountability is something that you think you can do, then perhaps that's a fantasy. Okay, so today was a little bit longer, this morning was a little bit longer than what I would usually Periscope for, but I really wanted to make sure today that you knew the two things that it really took, that doesn't often get talked about, all right? So that you can't ever say, well, I never knew, because now you know, and you can't unknow. So look, I'm going to give you some other ways that you can keep in touch with me. Normally, we spend the mornings going through strategy sessions about hormones, all right, and connecting the dots there. Now, if you do want more information about that, you can go to our website. But if you know that accountability is in fact what you need, and you are someone who wants to create realities instead of fantasies, who wants to know how that they can create strategies around being committed instead of running off of enthusiasm or willpower, that is an expendable resource. If you are someone who I spoke to this morning that needs to achieve their health goals, all right, so, and not a want but needs to, then this is how you can contact me. You can go to my website, all right, generationhealth.co.nz. That's www.generationhealth.co.nz. And just hit the contact us, and I will offer you a free consultation, and we're going to have a chat about where you're at, and we're going to lay out a plan of how it is that you can get what you're after, that you can achieve your health goals this year. All right, so I'm going to do that. I want to thank you for joining us this morning, and if you really think that this is beneficial, then I want you to share to your other followers. Thank you for the hearts, and already to those of you who are sharing, thank you so much. So join me tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for our next session. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to it already.